Last night it was really an honor to be on the floor of the House of Representatives when Governor Bullock gave his State of the State address. It made me really feel like all of the work we all did to get him elected, knocking on all of those doors and attending all of those functions, was really worth it. And it was a hopeful speech. You probably heard him talk about where he wants the lottery funds to go. That wasn't my bill. My bill's actually in conflict with that. And you also heard him talk about a bill that requires businesses to hire our friends and neighbors who are Montana residents. That is my bill, and I was really excited he was talking about it. So it was even more exciting when he actually said, help Amanda Curtis and I get the Hire Montanans First Act passed. It was a pretty proud moment for me. This morning in Business and Labor, we heard a bill that would provide immunity to employees who are testifying in court against the board that governs them. A bill on commissions to liquor stores, a bill on realty appraisers, and a really interesting bill that would allow politicians to request a business impact fiscal note. A fiscal note right now just says the impact, either money that the state would make or money the state would have to spend if a law was passed. And business impact would ask Legislative Fiscal Services Division to not just talk about the impact of the state budget, but also try to kind of guess or make it their best guess at how it would impact private businesses. The argument has always been that the Chamber of Commerce or private business should make statements about how laws would impact their business. We took executive action on the bill for immunity and passed that, and we also passed the real estate appraisers bill. We failed I voted no, but we passed the Outfitters Board bill. I had been contacted by actual Butte, real living, breathing people saying that they did not want to see that happen, and I split with the party. I split with everybody because the bill passed and there were only 3 no votes. And the reason I did that is because that bill now puts the authority for making Outfitters rules out of Montana law and into the hands of the board. And the board is made up of 4 outfitters and 2 sportsmen and 1 member of the general public. So in my opinion, it diminishes the voice that sportsmen have in making land use and safety and reporting decisions. I was pulled out of that committee for a meeting by a Republican member of the House, the Human Services Committee that I'm on. He had spoken against and then basically worked to kill a bill with a fiscal note, and then after the fact realized that it was aimed at helping his community and that it was a good bill, changed his mind, and just wanted to let me know so that I could let the other members of the community, the Human Services Committee, know that he was going to take some actions to undo that. So it's promising that maybe we will actually pass a bill from Human Services that does some human service. I was joined in the Capitol today by IBEW Local 233 member Lenny Williams, and you'll see that picture at the end, and naturopathic physician Dr. Laura Repola. The naturopaths gave me some B vitamins and rubbed our shoulders and gave us some healthy snacks, and it was nice to see them. You probably also remember Cindy Sturgar. She grew Butte's Community Health Center to what it is today, a wonderful service in the Butte community. And when Governor Bullock campaigned, she told him, you really need a health policy advisor. So then when he was elected, he said, okay, Miss Sturgar, remember how you said I needed this? Well, you're it. So it's nice to run into her in the Capitol every once in a while and know that she's working for the greater good still, just not in Butte. She's working for the whole state. We also saw McCall Flynn, who is an Anaconda girl working in the governor's office now. On the House floor, we heard an ALEC bill that suppresses voters. It undoes voter registration and sets the limit back 3 days to when people can register to vote. It passed on a straight party line vote, but I was really impressed with and proud of Carolyn Pease Lopez, Clarina Brockie, Bryce Bennett, and Casey Schreiner, who stood up and very calmly and very eloquently said exactly what kind of BS this bill is. So I would really recommend looking up that testimony. An example of not level-headed testimony was when House Bill 266, which is out of my own committee, came up, and after it had been discussed and our minority leader had stood up and very eloquently, probably actually persuaded people to vote against the bill. After he was done with that, the Republicans talked a little bit more, and I just got upset, and I decided to stand up and speak my mind. And I was speaking the truth, but I think I was yelling. And I ended my first time speaking on the floor with, "You have to vote no!" And it didn't go over very well. So any of the votes that Representative Hunter had won, I just pushed right back across the aisle. So I was a little bit embarrassed. Didn't have quite the satisfaction of getting to speak your mind when it really counts, because it didn't work. My lottery bill is still in play in the Education Committee, and there was talk today about maybe some possible amendments to it, but I'm just really excited that it's not dead yet. In Local Government Committee today, we tabled failed and tabled the terrible conservation easement bill. I was really proud of us for that. We passed a bill that says if a local government notices its paper twice and the paper doesn't publish the second public notice just through fault of its own, not through the local government's fault, then the local government can be considered to have met its public notice duties. And then we also failed and tabled a terrible sheriffs and deputies pay plan bill. And so some really good things did happen today overall. We heard House Bill 314, which is a bill pretty much specifically to Billings and Missoula local governments. And then at the end of the day, I went and sat in on a committee, not a committee, but just a meeting about the public employees retirement system and the teachers retirement system. I know that there are a lot of people who are really worried about all the terrible bills they're hearing about. And we are working to make sure that a reasonable retirement plan bill gets passed for both of those two systems, both the public employees and the teachers retirement. I really miss you guys.